are on fire today. I love it. Oh, we're going. Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, January 17th, 2023. We think we have the audio fixed for Fitzy, and so far the video seems to be going pretty well, but the show's early, so don't worry. It'll go south fast. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy. Of course, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With nearly 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the outside and on the inside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe that it's the little things that make a big difference. So give Brian a call today. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well.
I'm awesome.
Well, always. But this is nice to be able to hear you and so far see you.
And see me. And I have this cool microphone. No one can see, but I need one of those arm things so I can look like I'm cool too.
Oh, does this make me look cool? I need all the help I can get, so. Yeah. No, I just need it so I can move around. I can't have it sitting right in front of me because, I'm reading stuff. Anyway, Hey, how's it going? Positive things going on in your life. We have some things to get to today. Hey, you had asked, or we had mentioned last week that you were going to have some numbers, some recap numbers to go over. I put that on the agenda today, to talk about, but I don't know if you actually have those.
I have our report done, and I haven't sent it out to the media, so this will be a first glance. I haven't done subtraction numbers on it. I plan on sending this out to you guys today.
Okay.
Along with another press release and possibly a third press release. We are launching our Citizen Law Enforcement Academy today. So we'll have that for people to sign up for in March. And then we also may have another press release that we're sending out about another incident over the weekend. So
holy cow.
Yeah, we're on fire today. We've got a lot done. We had a lot of things go on over the weekend. So we'll get to that. But what's going on in your life?
There's your dad, right? Yeah, can't really tell because of the car. Watch from Arizona. And actually, that kind of ties into something when we get to our quick hits and our announcements. Yeah, not much. Oh, you know what? You know who I had over on Sunday for Bible study?
Who? I do, because I saw it on Facebook. Because that's where I get all my news.
David Wilson.
David Wilson.
Yeah, so Dave was over on Sunday, and it's nice because, when it's like when you and I talk, like offline, it's not media outlet to sheriff. It's just, Ben and Fitzy. We're just, talking about sports or whatever. And the same thing with Dave, but I don't get a chance to see him very often. So it was great having him over. And of course, my football picks, I was 5 out of 6. I did not have the Jaguars winning. Man.
Yeah, that's some good football.
Yeah, it was a great football weekend.
Awesome. And I was with Dave Wilson on Thursday, so I got to see him before you.
What was Thursday? Oh, is that where Sheriff Lamb over in Burnett? Did you go to that?
No, I did not go to that. Sheriff Wilson. Let's start a rumor.
Sorry, Dave. You're running for sheriff.
Chief Wilson. Sorry. Chief Wilson and I were at a meeting with and Rice Lake for our regional law enforcement meeting. We talked about officer-involved shootings and how administration handles those. It was a very good presentation, and Dave always has some good input. And Dave's part of a team I didn't know about. He's part of a response team that he helps other people with. So that's, Dave, he helps everyone.
Dave's awesome. Like, no kidding. He does more for this county than any other single person, in my opinion. Not that other people don't do great things, but in all the different roles, all the different hats, that is a very engaged individual.
And Dave he's not doing it for himself. He does zero for himself. He does it for the betterment of Shell Lake or Washington
or the county, because he's on board of supervisors and a whole bunch of other committee. He does a lot for this county. We like that guy.
Dave.
Yeah, it is. Dave, and he's not even watching. What a jerk. All right. Do you have any quick hits, shout outs, or announcements? I have a couple here.
I don't have any. I drive a little slow this morning, a little slick, but other than that, we've been doing pretty good. Only one crash going on right now.
Well, that's good. Yeah, hopefully Dirk Miller will give us a weather update towards the end of the show because, it sounds like maybe more weather is coming. I just want to put out I don't want to call it a prayer request, right? I know that sometimes rubs people the wrong way. I don't mean it that way, but my brother-in-law, David, and you remember David, he was with us for our golf outing for Spooner Health last year that you volunteered me to donate to every single year, so we might as well go golfing for it.
We're in again this year.
All right. Unfortunately, his dad passed away.
Yeah,
I kind of came up real quick. So if you could keep, if you're a person of faith, keep my sister and my brother-in-law and his family in your thoughts and prayers. If you're not a person of faith, and I don't know what you do, just keep in your thoughts, I guess. And then also Mike Richter. We know Mike, former chief deputy. He ran for sheriff as well. Great guy. His mom actually just passed away as well. I think the memorial and visit. I think that's today. Okay. So yeah, keep them in your thoughts and ideally prayers.
Yeah,
but perfect. Yeah, and this is what kind of ties back into when your dad is on there. Man, if you have parents, a mom or a dad, or both, or a stepdad, that's fine, or stepmom, but these people that are in your life, hold them tight, man. Call them. Tell them you love them because you just don't know how long you're going to have them. You and I are both fortunate to still have our parents. I almost lost my mom and dad a couple years ago in heart attacks and like 2 months apart from each other. They're still here. You speak very highly of your father. And your mom, I've never talked to your mom, but with a name like Bunny, she has to be awesome. I mean, she could be like the worst person on the planet. I don't know. But with a name like Bunny, she has to be great.
No, they're both great. Yeah, I talk to my dad a couple times a week at least, and I shoveled his driveway this morning, so he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, good to know. Since he's in Arizona, don't worry about it. I took care of it. I left the bill in your mailbox.
Right, that's right, yeah. I'm sure the check's in the mail.
Yeah, also, next week, I don't know if you remember, but I asked you about this before. Eric Toney will be joining us on next Tuesday's show. He's going to be talking about something. Prosecutors.
And the pay that they get.
Is it the pay? Is that what it is?
Yeah, we just need more. We need more pay. That's what's kind of holding down our system, our criminal justice system. It's not finding attorneys for defendants, and there's a delay in that. I think it has to do with wages, and it has to do with how many people are doing it. Private attorneys make a lot more money. So, look at that. Mike Schaefer was listening. Good job, Mike. Good pickup.
All right, fine. Yeah, so I just I found his text from Eric. Where is it? Yeah, talk about the state budget for the prosecutors, and also because he ran for attorney general, of course, but this isn't about that. Obviously, he's still a district attorney in a pretty decent size.
He's the president of the district attorney.
Right. So this is going to be really fascinating to hear about it. But I also kind of want to pick his brain on. I think this is the second budget cycle that it's going through, which it could potentially get passed, and that's cash bonds, and about allowing judges to be able to consider a lot more factors when it comes to how much of a bond to give. And because he's not like one of our area district attorneys, we can totally drill him on this stuff. Right.
Well, we don't have to drill him because we know what he.
I think he's gonna. I'm really looking forward to the show next week.
I think a lot of people will. I mean, and I know a lot of people can't watch it live, but I think that'll be a big hit for us because people love to talk about that.
I love talking about it.
When it comes to bonds, that's it's a big issue for people, and it's a big safety factor for communities.
Yeah, I can't wait. And then the last thing is 21 Things. I wanted to bring this up last week. So we do a 21 Things we used to do called 21 Things You Might Not Know About Me. You've done it. Actually, Mike Schaefer has done it as well, if I recall. But we kind of put a pin in that for a couple of years. We brought it back a couple of weeks ago. So every Monday on DrydenWire, we've changed the name to a Support Staff Spotlight. And it's not our staff. These are for the people that work kind of behind the scenes, and they'll still do their 21 things about them, and it can be fun. And I really enjoy actually reading them because they're the ones that come up with their own 21 things and then send them to us. 2 weeks ago we started it, and it was with Amy Text in the sheriff's office in Burnett County. Yesterday was Amy Schaefer, the chief deputy clerk of court in Washburn County. And really the goal behind this was we wanted to stick with DA's offices, clerk of courts, and sheriff's offices in our 6 counties, and anyone can do it that are there. They're like the support staff. Because these are the offices that, obviously if it's an office, it's because there's an elected official that's at the top, like a sheriff or a clerk of court or a district attorney. But it's the people that work there all the time, and in your case, not like just the deputies, but you must have people that work there. I don't think you can call them secretaries anymore. Are they assistants, or could be male, female, it doesn't matter. But those people, the ones that the elected officials come and go sometimes, but they're the ones there that are still, they're still there, and they make everything run smoothly. So we wanted to shine a spotlight on them. So that will be up before noon every single Monday. So I'd encourage people to check it out. Yeah, who do you have down in your area? You think anyone down there would want to do it in the sheriff's office?
Well, we can make anybody do anything.
Make anybody do it.
Sure, I can make anybody do anything. No.
Where's my paycheck this week? Well, I don't know. Remember that email I sent you?
Yeah. Once you answer that 21 things, you get paid again. I don't think our HR department will like that.
Yeah,
I think
whatever.
But Penny, my administrative, all the administrative professionals on my team here, we have people that work at the front desk and are type all of our cases and handle all the administrative duties. I have administrative support staff of four ladies, and they hold us strong, and they are the backbone of our department. So I think you've got a good thing going. And I think it's interesting to not just highlight the sheriffs or somebody like that. So I
Yeah,
think
DAs, sheriff. I mean, they're all important too. I totally get it. But I
right.
just think not just from DrydenWire, but just as a community, like I think a lot of people don't even know who these people are,
Right.
and they do so much.
And they probably won't. There'll be people that don't want that. Some people don't like that
Yeah, I
limelight,
get
or
it.
they don't want to do that. They don't want anybody to know about them. They just enjoy their job. Penny's been here for years, supporting the sheriff's department through multiple sheriffs. This isn't. I'm not her. I'll hopefully be her last sheriff, but
Right.
I'm not her. So
Well, like Jerusha, she works at the DA's office in Washburn. Erin Marco's a DA. That's her fourth DA that that
right.
she's that's been in the office in just that amount of time. So yeah, that's just it. They come and go sometimes. So yeah, actually, I need somebody for Monday. So I'll send you an email after this. But first, just find out if any one of them would like to do it. Okay. I have so we go to our press releases. You had one. You just said that you're going to have some more coming out today or tomorrow. But the only one that I have from last week, the headline was speed and alcohol contributing factors in Barron County snowmobile crash. I want to kind of get your thoughts on that, get a little more information. But first, here's a quick message from Spooner Health. Stay with us. We're back in 15 seconds.
Satisfaction surveys and in conversations with patients, they appreciate the fact that staff got to know them. Staff really took their preferences into account, and they just feel grateful that they are being cared for as a person.
To learn more about our services, visit spoonerhealth.com.
Mike, I tell you.
We're the greatest show ever in our minds. Just ask us.
Jeepers. All right, so that was the headline that was our headline, by the way. So if anyone has a problem with it, I'm like, I don't know. Try to stick to factual headlines, and you stated that
So, we put it on our Facebook page, and people want to know why we did that. And ultimately, we'll talk about a thing, and then we'll talk about some of the other things that I want to talk about. We had a snowmobile crash on Friday night. Yeah, obviously. Yeah. Anyway, and our thoughts and prayers are with the person in the crash. Even though speed and alcohol are contributing factors to this crash, our thoughts and prayers are with him. We hope he has a recovery. He's in critical condition in an Eau Claire hospital. I haven't gotten an update in the last 48 hours, so I don't know many more than that. We hope, that was our first snowmobile crash. There was a lot of snowmobiles out over the weekend. And he went off the trail and hit a tree. That was the extent of the crash. He was riding with one other person. That person didn't crash. He was following behind. So thoughts and prayers are out there. We got to be careful on our snowmobile trails. Our snowmobile trails are still open, even with the rain that we had. We had a good base. So as of now, I haven't been told our snowmobile trails are going to close, so they're going to stay open. Hopefully through the weekend. Again, it's going to be warm weather. We're going to get some more snow. I'm sure Dirk will tell us that in a little bit. But it sounds like Thursday night or Wednesday night, we're going to get more snow. But somebody commented on our Facebook page, and I know I shouldn't read them, but I do, speed and alcohol were factors. And, why did we put that? Well, because they are contributing factors. We aren't saying that they were intoxicated. We were saying alcohol is a contributing factor. When you drink alcohol, your impairment goes down. You're braking, you're stopping, you're walking. Things get impaired. So those are contributing factors. We're not saying the guy was, 0.30. We don't even have a number. We didn't, we can draw blood and we can do it that way. We don't have a number right now. We can get that for any criminal charges that happen down the road. We can get that, but we don't have that. But they are contributing factors. And somebody said, why do you put that? Well, because people want to know what happens. And I don't want it to happen to the next person. So I think that's important why we do that.
Yeah, because I think that you're 100% right, and I've always appreciated that. And again, it's not this is just a press release. It's just preliminary. I think you can say there, hey, preliminary investigation, X, Y, Z. But it's also ideally or hopefully a deterrent. Same reason that we've talked before, like State Patrol will sit in the median, and you can see them like a mile and a half away that they're sitting there running radar. And it's, why do you do that? You can't really pull over any speeders, but it's a deterrent to slow people down. That's the whole idea. Slow traffic down a little bit. Well, we've been asked that same question. Why do we do a story on someone, I don't know, child sex offender or something? It's, yeah, because hopefully if there is another child sex offender who hasn't been caught, they see that and go, oh, man, I should probably not do that. Ideally, It's kind of a deterrent, not just an educational piece or informing, but it's also, hey, this is another reminder. If you are drinking to whatever degree, 1 or 10 or whatever, and there's crash, you could be in a press release. And I kind of like that. It's just another reminder. Be careful.
Right. And some people want to know why we release the name. Well, that's a public record. You can call and request that every single day of the week. I'm not taking 27 requests for a name and then sending it out. I send it out like that. That saves our staff time. People don't like it. I don't know what to tell you. It's a public record. Get the law changed that I don't have to release that as a public record. I'd be happy to not release the names. But that is what we do. We choose to do. It works. It stops. It has some preventative measures. You can't measure prevention. I can't put a price tag on it, but I can tell you it works in Barron County. Prevention works. We're going to continue to do it this way. We don't want people drinking and driving. We've always said have an exit strategy. It's tough when it's snowmobile. There's not much to do except from go to restaurant to bar to bar to bar. There's not a lot of things you can do, and it's terrible. So I don't like it. Hopefully, people don't drink and drive, or they're smarter with it. Yeah. So that's all we're asking people to do. We're saying alcohol and speed were contributing factors. That's goes into
because they were contributing factors. I mean, yeah, we said that's what they were, right?
Right. Yeah. And as Renee said, don't get in trouble. We won't hear about it. I mean, there's some truth to that.
Yeah. I mean, oh yeah. Trust me, I know. I get emails every week. Why did you post this? And why is it? Because that's what happened.
Right.
I didn't do it.
It is a public record. And we used to have people come here and go through our logs and request them and wait in line for them. And
really?
When I first took over as sheriff, we would have people come in here. You could page through our logs because everything we do is a public record. So all of our records are public. You can request them, and that's why we put it out there. All our media puts, they have logs, they have police logs and newspapers and things like that. It's, from every newspaper around does that. And you put the jail roster. That's a public record.
We don't do we get the ones from you in Barron County and in Washburn County, and I think we get the call logs and all. Right. We've never posted those. I don't know. It just seems. What I don't want, because I looked through some of them, it's like somebody called. Here was a call that came in, and it was about their neighbor who they think's doing drugs or something. And now let's say the neighbors get, arrested, or I don't know if that's an actual scenario, but something like that. I don't want people seeing who's the one who called and got them in trouble. So honestly, I kind of do it for that reason. That's the reason I don't actually. I'm not a big fan of putting in. I don't think we've ever done call logs that we've posted. I don't know. That's taking a little too far for me.
It's kind of getting, and with Facebook, that's kind of changed. I mean, because now we put all of our press releases on Facebook. We know, and that's the way to get it out to the people. That's how you get them. Not you get them through Facebook. You get them through
you when you email them. Yeah,
right. And when we do a press release, but we put them out there so people can see it. A lot of times we just share it, maybe yours or someone else's, and that's how it gets on our Facebook. We want people to know what we're doing as law enforcement officers. That's what.
When did that become bad? Like transparency and stuff. It's like right now. I don't want to get into like political or national news, but it's the documents, like classified documents, and it was Trump before, and now it's Biden. It's okay. Seriously, and this is a Republican Democrat thing. It's like did you just think it was all right? Whatever. Just take it home. It's no big deal. No, that stays at work, man. It's really weird. But no, transparency is huge. And we've talked about that before. I appreciate that so much that you are transparent about all this. And yeah, because if not, you're going to be getting just flooded with calls anyway. So in a weird way, it's also kind of a time saver. Like you don't have people coming in and looking through your logs, requesting this, and it's, fine, we'll make copies of it. Screw it. We're just sending it out automatically. I think you guys do it twice a day. I think it's 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Here's all the call logs, and we will send out press releases. It's got to save a lot of time.
It saves a ton of time. And because if you hear about something and you don't get them for 24 hours, so there's a 24-hour delay in that.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that, by the way.
I know. It wasn't you, but it was.
Another media outlet. Yep. And I get punished.
Right. Yep, you do. And it does save a ton of time. So,
All right. And I saw Kirk Anderson on there. I have an announcement about him at the end of the show.
well, let's do it right now.
Okay, fine. He's starting. So on Thursday, so we're adding 2 new monthly shows to our live show schedule because obviously you and I do this on Tuesday, and the second Thursday of the month I have it with Congressman Tom Tiffany. On the third Thursday, Kirk Anderson is going to be hosting his own show, but it's going to be aired on DrydenWire, on our Facebook page, and of course on our website and our YouTube channel. I think he's just calling it the Kirk Anderson Show because, believe it or not, it's actually really hard to figure out, like, what do you call a show? But so that'll be his own show. So it's a third Thursday. He'll be doing it. So I can't wait. I can't even remember who his guest is, but I think we'll be announcing that tomorrow. And then our last Thursday of the month, Romaine Quinn will be doing a monthly show. Oh. And the goal behind that is, well, one, he covers a lot. I mean, his district, 25th, covers a lot of our, like holy cow, like 3 or 4 of our counties that we cover. And it's going to be more of like a recap of everything that is going on down there, that what has been done. So it's really more of just informational regarding all the bills and all the things that they've worked on, and then kind of having a look ahead for the next month. So I can't wait.
So May, June, July, and August, there won't be nothing because they're not in session.
Yeah, right. Well, this week I went to a parade. No. What do they call it? We're out meeting the constituents. It's important to hear from them. No, it isn't. It's important for you to get something done.
May, June,
Stay
July,
down.
and August. Right, stay in Madison.
Maybe I'll bring that up. Oh, it looks like Amanda's birthday. Dirk's. No, Amanda.
Happy birthday, Amanda.
It's her birthday today. Happy birthday.
There you go.
Yeah, and my daughter, Annalise, she'll be 20, and my mom, I don't know how old she'll be. They both share a birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday to them. All right, let's get to your sheriff's numbers, unless you had something else that you wanted to touch on.
No, I don't have anything else to touch on. We'll be releasing our annual report sometime today. It just got completed and went through a check. And who
does the check? Support staff. See?
Support
That's another
staff
thing that they do.
Right. And double checked, but I'm sure there's still something in here. But 2022 was a steady year with no major cases. We, for the first time in a long time in Barron County, didn't have any major cases.
What defines a major case?
When we call out basically all of our detectives, I look at that as, we did call our detectives out twice. Both of those were for other counties. We helped up in Burnett County with that off-the-road shooting. Yep. And we helped in Polk County in their jail. They had a death in their jail, and we helped with that. So, I mean, to not call out, I'm not saying our detectives didn't get called out individually, but we didn't call all 5 of our detectives out for any major cases in 2022. It's a big deal for us.
Yeah, I kind of think so.
Right.
How many did you have the year before? Do you know?
I couldn't tell you. I don't have that. I don't compare that, but there's always been a major case in Barron County, a murder,
seems like it, right?
Yeah, we've had a lot of those cases. So no major cases, which is a huge deal for us. Drugs continue to take up a lot of our time with the fentanyl deaths across the county. We're going to have some more information on fentanyl upcoming. It was going to be the 1st of February. It's not. We're moving that date now to do a couple more things. There was just an overdose yesterday, no death. I don't know the drug that was used, but Narcan was used to bring that person back or to help that person. So I don't know what drug was attached to that. So that is a goal for 2023 is the work on this fentanyl. Internet crimes against children. We're going to end up talking a lot more about that in 2023. Yes. I know that's not a topic you enjoy talking about.
Me? But, I mean, obviously that, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm really focusing a lot of our original stories and for Insider on just that stuff instead of, 4th OWI, because I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but who cares? I'm just saying the court system doesn't seem to care. So why should I really care when it's a 4th OWI? Yeah, here's, 60 days of jail, get out of here. So, that stuff is very important. So I'm excited to hear about that.
And that's leading to a lot more work on our detective end. And so we're trying to keep track of that. In fact, I have that number, but I attached it somewhere else. Hang on. We had 19 internet crimes against children cases last year. An internet crime against children case, one tip that comes in, is we're averaging about 40 hours just on that tip. So you talk about that. We had 19 of those. That's almost a half-time person handling 19 cases. And that's all they have time to do. Some of them took 80 plus hours to do. So we're really trying to keep track of that. We think that what we see is an increase in that, and we don't have any data to do this. I believe that we're seeing more of those because people work at home more. When you were sitting in your office, you didn't have time to look at child porn. Now that you're at home working, you can just flop to your other computer, do some searching on your lunch hour, your break, whatever it is, and just the access is there. Before, when you came home from work, your wife, your kids are at home, so you can't search the things you want to search. We think that more people working from home is we're seeing an increase in that. I can't anecdotally, I can't prove it, but I think that's what we're seeing. So
real quick, I just just divided out. So you had 40 hours, 19. That would come to 760 hours a year, but you said some of them go 80. So we'll just round it up to 1,000. 1,000 over a 52-week period, that is almost exactly 20 hours a week is a week average. So I think that goes back to what you're saying. That's pretty much like a part-time job now. Like in terms of time that's spent, 20 hours a week is the average that you're spending on those.
That's just on 19 cases. If we end up with 40 cases, and so we think there's a backlog. That'll be interesting. We can ask Eric Tony that next week, what he thinks if there's a backlog at the crime lab. Those cases at the crime lab get sent to us. And so they're not at the crime lab. They're wherever. They're Wisconsin case, and then they get sent to us. Then we have to do a subpoena for documents to determine whose IP address was used. Then we have to do another subpoena for documents to look at what house that IP address goes to a phone company. A lot of subpoenas and documents, and that's what the time is. It's not so much catching the bad guy. It's determining if the crime even takes place in Barron County, then what jurisdiction in Barron County does it take in, then whose house is it, then is it a cell phone? If there's 4 people in the house, we have to determine whose cell phone of the 4 people it is. It's a lot of subpoena for documents, and a lot of things go into an internet crimes against children case. So
can I? I want to ask something. So internet crimes against children seems very time heavy to investigate into whatever. Would that be probably their highest amount? And then where do drugs? I was told, I think it was actually, I think it was Dave that told me that, or maybe it was you, I can't remember, maybe both of you did, that a lot of these drug cases, those also take quite a bit of time. Now, maybe, I can't remember, maybe not, but I thought they kind of were. So really, I guess the question I have for you is, compared to 10 years ago, if you had the same amount of staff that you have right now, and I don't think you're saying that, hey, pay attention, county board and budget people, whoever do those things, we need, way more people. And maybe you do, I don't know. But 10 years ago, if you had the same amount of staff that you had right now, would you be like, okay, we can handle it? Or is it, man, that's actually too many people? Because now all of our investigations seem to be taking a lot longer than they did 10 years ago because we have different things that we focus on now.
100%. You're exactly right. They're taking way longer to do these fentanyl cases. They require subpoena for documents. These cell phones, we used to be able to, and we still have the technology here. We used to be able to get a warrant for your cell phone and do it right here in the back room. We had a machine to do that. That machine is obsolete. The new machine is $100,000. There's only one agency that has one, and that's the DCI right now. Because these phones get more complicated and more technical, and it's taking a different system to crack them to get in, because nobody wants to give me their password. I mean, you don't have to. I mean, it's your legal right not to give us it. But if we have a subpoena for it, we can do that. I don't know what the system is called.
So you don't have that, though?
We don't have it. We can get into some phones, especially if you have the code then we can search your phone. A lot of people cooperate because they didn't do it. Some of these internet crimes against children cases are one image, but they still get flagged as a case. Well, it might be you clicked on something and got some spam. And so it's really, we have to prove, did you really download that? Did you really share that?
Sure.
Yes. So some of these crimes that we're getting aren't anything. So we do 30 hours of work into this case and realize it was a spam. when we finally interview you, because we have to prove it's you. And if we can't just come and say, knock on your door, and we got this tip, can you oh, that wasn't me, you'll delete everything before we get to it.
Yeah.
So we've got to do all the front end work to ask you that question. So we've had a few of those cases. So,
and don't most people, although I'm just guessing, don't like the overwhelming majority. It's like when you pull someone over. You've been drinking? Okay, how many? 2. Right? That's like the default answer is 2 or a couple. Don't most people probably just say, oh, no, it was spam? And you have to decide if that really is true or, you know.
Right. But we got to have that answer beforehand, because then you can go home and destroy your computer, throw your cell phone in the river. So we have to do all of that work beforehand, and we serve a search warrant on you, or we might interview you but have the search warrant in our back pocket. So if you don't cooperate, we can pull it out. I mean, there's a lot of techniques that go into that. And then you look at these internet crimes against children. We take them very seriously. We've talked about that on this show. They're not something that they're people we don't normally deal with. So we don't know what they are. There's mandatory minimums to these. So people don't want to get caught. So then they do dumb things when the police come to their house. So they're very touchy cases. We're going to spend a lot more time talking about them, doing investigations into them. We see more cases coming down the pipe just from talking to our
When you say
detectives.
risk factor, is that like the safety of either individuals in the house, the safety of the
Officers.
alleged person, and also the safety of officers?
No, I'm saying these are cases where people do dumb things when the police come knocking at their door.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Why have you used our SWAT team? People have said, well, it's an internet crimes against children. Why would you use your SWAT team? It's a guy using the computer. Because 2 FBI agents in Florida got shot doing this exact same thing. And so, I can give you case after case on why we do that. So
Okay.
I know we're just about past our time.
Oh, that's fine. This is awesome. I love this stuff.
Yeah, and we've only 2 sentences into this, but our jail population stayed very steady last year. We made $600,000 in out-of-county revenue. I think that's big to talk about.
As usual.
For other counties.
We're paying your bills. You're welcome.
Traffic fatalities were very interesting last year, and we'll talk a lot more about this in the coming weeks. Were non-existent until the end of September. We had 0 on September 30th. And then between September 30th and November 30th, we had 8. 7 fatalities for the year.
In a month.
It's crazy. We had 9 months of 0, and we went to 7, and then we didn't have any in December. I mean, it was just like, what? I don't understand it. I don't get it. So anyway, and dispatch continues to answer the calls. Our numbers are pretty steady from people wanting help from 911. So we have some goals. We're looking at 2023 having that more complexity to it, which takes up time. And so we're just seeing a little bit of a trend different in law enforcement, I think. I think the technicality in law enforcement is going to be different in 2020.
What do you mean? I don't know what that means.
I think that the cases are going to be a lot more complex.
Oh, sure.
I think with the internet crimes against children, with these drug cases, with the cell phone usages, with these cell phone changes. I seen an ad last night for Apple, and I don't know what Apple phone it was. You can send a text message, and you're like, oh, I sent it wrong. I think he said I killed your parrot, or your parrot died, and then the parrot wakes up, and he deletes the text message before you get it. I mean, so now they have these delete to text message before someone reads it. If they haven't read it, you can delete it, and they don't even know you got it. I saw it briefly in my vision last night when I was watching TV, watching the football game. So I think the technology changes. We have to change with that. There's some cost to that, and there's a lot of time that goes into that.
Well, if you'd stop arresting people for marijuana, you'd be able to,
Right.
Yeah, how many marijuana, give you that one. Do you have a number for marijuana arrests?
We do.
Yes.
We have that. So we'll save that for next week. That'll be our show for next week.
Well, Eric Tony's on next week.
We won't have time, so Eric Tony.
That's fine. I can't wait. We'll do it the week after, but I will. I can't wait to publish that today when you send it, and then I'm going to print it out and read through it all. I'm going to have a ton of questions. It'll take me like 2 weeks to unpack all of it, but this is like my favorite thing of the year. I look forward to is your recap numbers. I don't know why. I just love it.
Well, I think we love to figure out why. I mean, you and I both.
Right, exactly.
And the people out there do. So Dirk's weather report's up there. Little light snow today, 1/2 inch, warm. 2 to 4 on Thursday. So 5 inches in the southern areas of Barron County. Good. I live in the north, so we're good.
Good. Who cares about the Southerners?
Yeah, you're only gonna get 1 to 3 in northern.
Well, according to my phone, AccuWeather, which seems to be heavy on weather and light on Accu, I think it's supposed to be 3 to 6. We're supposed to be getting. I want to go back real quick, staffing wise. So
Yes.
there is obviously you may need some more, because that's usually how it goes. I mean, it's a sheriff's office, or just like most departments, but certainly sheriff's offices. It's not like this year we need less money. Usually you're going to need a little bit more, because that's just how the world works. But in terms of staffing, you had talked about that a couple of months ago. We discussed that. Are you good on staffing, and are you concerned about, if you're good right now, how about a year from now?
No, I think we're going to be asking for more deputies in the future. I mean,
And do you think you'll be able to have a pool of candidates, or are you concerned about that at all?
No, I'm not concerned about the quality of our candidates. As the number isn't there. We're not getting 100 applicants, but the 20 we're getting, I'm very happy with. In fact, we did 8 interviews just last week. We stole one from Rusk County. We have a Rusk County deputy coming to work for us. That's what I like to see.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Jeff's not watching, the sheriff.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
And so I'm not worried about the quality. The quantity's not there. The quality's been good. I think in Northwest Wisconsin, I think our quality is okay. Like I said, the quantity is not there, but the quality is. I'm very happy where law enforcement is going in 2023. Regionally, I don't see many issues. I see staffing is a big issue. I see a lot more traffic complaints. I think our traffic division is pushed to its max. That's not a secret. We've been talking about it for a long time. We haven't added to our department in a long time. We've added, but in very specific areas like school liaisons. We've added to that. So our department has grown, but very specifically, and we're receiving funding for that. So we haven't really made a big ask in a long time, and that's probably coming down the road.
And you've also been the recipient, unfortunately, of some grants. We talked about those. One was the Badger State Sheriff Association. That was about a year ago, right? And somebody had donated money to them, and you guys all the sheriffs in 72 counties kind of came up with a list of things that you'd use it for. So there was something for that. I think there was another grant for something that you used for some technology. So, that stuff is great, not only that you get it, but also that means taxpayers don't have to pay for any of it.
Right.
But, you just can't keep relying on super great, generous people saying, here's a bunch of money, go get some equipment that you need. Because that's pretty much all you can do with it. You can't get a donation for a new hire. Because it's like, well, that's a cost that's going to be there next year too. Who's paying for that? So, yeah.
It'll go up, and we'll monitor that. And if we don't see the need, we won't add. But right now, I see, if I had a crystal ball in front of me, I can see we're probably adding 1 to 2 people in the future in Barron County.
Specific things, or are you looking at, we really could use another, as you kind of touched on earlier, another detective maybe, because these are not we don't need 2 or 3 more people running radar, or handling domestic, or just deputies, which those are always important. But is it specific to one area, jail, dispatch, 911, or deputies, road deputies, support staff, or detectives? Is there one in there that if you had to pick one that you wanted to add to, which of those departments would you, or which of those areas?
We would probably add a utility person. And I think what I mean by that is we're probably not going to specialize. All of our people are going to do all of these things that we just talked about. So I think we're going to add utility positions if we add, so that we can use them in patrol in the summer. In the winter, we can pull them back to do internet crimes against children. In the peak times, we can use them in the drug unit. So I think we're going to not be I'm a detective and I only do internet crimes against children. I'm a detective, I only do drugs. I'm a detective, I only do property crimes. I think we used to do that. I think we've gotten away with that. We're going to have general detectives and we're going to have patrol. All of our detectives can jump into our patrol division today. And we're going to continue to do that cross training. I think that's the wave of law enforcement. I think we have to do it that way.
Do you think there'll be any? Is that going to sacrifice when you're focused just on one thing? You can be very talented at that one thing. Do you see any issues or foresee any issues where it's, well, we don't really have like an expert. We have a jack of all trades kind of folks. But do you think, I think with enough training, we'll be fine. It's not like you're going to go like 4 months without doing a detective job and you're just going to be running radar for 4 months.
Right.
It's not really like that. You'll be doing multiple things. I think people can handle that, right?
100% agree. I think we can. There's no question we can handle that, and we're good on that. So I'm not worried about that at all. We get the job done whatever it takes with the people that we have. We have good, and I think that we view that as a transition period when people retire. I think that is another good way to, some succession planning for some of our long-term detectives. Sure. I think that just adds to people knowing what they're doing when they're out on the street as patrol, that little crossover. I think that's a huge thing for succession planning for our department.
It's a good idea. And by the way, Lance is going to have, I've been working with Lance. I don't know what his title is down in Barron County. We do a whole bunch of tests.
He's the new IT director. Our IT director, Mark Kenneke, congratulations, retiring on Friday. So Lance is it now.
Oh, well, I got to tell you, that dude has been awesome to work with. Now, we've been doing a whole bunch of these tests, and we had it working really well, your video, and now it's been in and out. So now he'll be able to have something he can go back to. So I know he's running a whole bunch of tests. But I was going to just give him a compliment, like, no kidding. That dude's great, and he's not like one of those normal IT people. They're like your mechanic that just are condescending and make you feel terribly for not knowing. Like, well, here's your problem right there, you moron. You're not doing it. He's been super nice throughout the whole thing. He's just a great dude. I was going to say you should promote him, but it sounds like he's already been promoted. So
on Monday, he's the man. So
he's been great to work with. No kidding.
Yeah, he'll figure this out. But it was pretty clear most of the time. So
most of the time, and more importantly, we can hear you well. That's I think, the audio is, I think, a little bit more important than the video. All right, what do you got coming up this week? Sorry, we went a little bit late, but I want to hear these numbers, and we could have talked for another hour about these numbers, and we will get to those in future shows. But what do you have coming up this week?
I don't think much. We're going to hockey in Madison. So
hockey, I should have figured. I'm just going to write that in every time. Coming up, Fitzy, hockey.
So you're exactly right.
And I can't wait to look forward to, there he is again, Kirk Anderson. He will be doing his first Kirk Anderson show on DrydenWire on Thursday morning at 8:30. So I look forward to watching that and making fun of him as much as I possibly can. Because
that's right. I can type questions in and ask
I know, it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait. Sorry, buddy. Just saying. All right, man. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With nearly 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the outside and on the inside of your home or business. So give them a call today, 715-520-2271. Fitzy and I'll see you back here next week for our latest episode of Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, when we'll be joined by I think it's Fond du Lac County District Attorney Eric Toney. So until then, thank you for watching, and have a blessed day.